This is the brand new electric pressure washer from the Cat brand. Now, an interesting little side note is Cat branded pressure washers are actually made by the Active brand of pressure washers. So the same guys that make the Active 2.0 and the Active 2.3, they've made Cat units for, I can't remember if they were here or if they were just in Canada in the past, but now they have a new unit available at Sam's Club. So we're gonna open this thing up, see what it comes with, test out all the numbers and see how it goes. Now this unit at Sam's Club comes in at a pretty good price at $149.95 or $149.98, whatever it is, $150 for this unit. Now it states it gets 2200 PSI and 1.2 GPM. Now those are typically the highest rated numbers and not what we get at the same time. So again, we're gonna test this, see exactly what the numbers are at the nozzle or at least at the gun to see the actual usable performance that we can expect. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this thing open, and really quickly I wanna talk about the unit that they have at Costco because that's gonna be a direct comparison, right? So the unit at Costco is from the brand AR pressure washers. Very, very well-known brand. That one is coming in at a slightly higher price, but that one is an induction motor. This one, I'm not sure yet. We'll try and find out as we go. I'm assuming at the price, it's probably a universal motor. Typically an induction motor is gonna last longer and run quieter, but again, we'll see. Also the components of this one versus that one, I do not know yet, but I do know for the AR, it came with a steel braided hose. So we'll see what this one comes with. All right guys, so for assembly of this thing, very, very easy. It's already got the wheels and everything installed, so you just take the backing piece here. It's got two little pins on the back. Just line it up, okay? Push those in and push it down. Clips into place and you're good to go. Additionally, you have this little box here, which is all gonna be the accessories, gun, hose, all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and pop this open. So first things first, you got your little user manual. You also have a nozzle cleaning tool. Just in case your nozzle gets clogged, you can actually just poke this little tool through it and it'll clear it out. So first things first, we have our gun here. Not my favorite type, but again, at the price, really nothing to complain about. Gun feels cheap, but what's expected at this price point, really. Really not bad at all. We do have the hose connection at the front. Again, I talk about this all the time. For me personally, because I detail cars, I want the hose to attach to the back so that it's not potentially going to rub up against the car. But for general home cleaning, it shouldn't be a big deal at all. Additionally, we do get another extension lance. This is what's gonna have the quick connect, 1/4 inch quick connect for your nozzles on it. So simply just take the cap off. It's just an M22 threading, so we just insert it here, get it seated down, and then twist it on. All right, now here is our hose, and I don't know. As it's in the bag, doesn't look good, but let's go ahead and see. It looks very, very thin. So it's a 20-foot hose. The thinness doesn't bother me necessarily. It's just more the production quality of it. What do I do with my razor blade? Here we go. So it states it's a 1/4 inch hose. Tylon, I don't know if that's the brand or the material that this is. Kind of interesting. So you can't give it too much fault as it's been wound up for a while. So just go ahead and get this undone. Yeah, and it's immediately starting to curl back on the other side. So let's just get up closer to it so I can show you guys how this thing goes. I'm gonna do my maneuverability kind of flex point to it to see how it goes. All right, not bad. So, and there it kinked. So it lasted longer than I expected. Sometimes these things are just, like first move, it's just like, bam, there's a huge kink. So it does kink, and then there is memory to that line. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully it's gonna focus for you. So, yeah, not the best hose for sure. Will it get the job done? Yes. Do I recommend upgrading this thing? 100%. It is an M22 connection point. Is it M22 by 14 or 15? I don't know yet. So let me go ahead and check on that really fast. Yeah, it's fitting. It seems like it's an M22 by 14. So this is my preferred hose to upgrade with, especially on these like basic consumer style units. This is called the Uberflex hose. It's 50 feet long. And check out the flexibility of this thing. It's an absolute noodle. Okay, and it doesn't kink. So you can get it to roll over on itself, but then there's no memory in that line. So it stays nice and flexible through that. And yes, guys, it seems that the connection point and the hose that it comes with are both M22 by 14, which is great. So when you upgrade your hose, This Uberflex comes already in an M2214, so if you don't want to run quick connects, it'll plug right in. All right, let's continue with the unboxing. You do get a little foam blaster, not a foam cannon. Do not confuse this with a foam cannon. Foam blaster. One of the benefits of, there's two benefits to this really. One is that when you have a soap dispenser on the unit itself, then your soap or whatever detergent you're using is gonna go through that entire hose. The downside of that is when you wanna just use clean water, well, there's still gonna be residual chemical in that hose, so you have to constantly, you don't know when it's actually out. The secondary thing is when you have those chemical injectors, there's an extra little like siphon valve that goes in at the pump. What that does is it actually reduces the PSI from what the pump is actually creating. It uses a little bit and then you lose PSI at the usable end. So it's nice that they just include this. Again, this will just clip onto the front. And there you go. This will work on your house and all that kind of stuff for spraying any siding and things like that, just to apply some chemical. And finally, guys, two more things to come out. There's two little clips here, and super easy. They just slide on over this little piece on the side here. There you go. So that one's for your gun, and then this one, I don't know, for your hose maybe? All right, and then in the final package, oh, we actually have one more little clip, and then we have nozzles. So, there we go. One more clip. I think it goes in the back, I believe. Yes, it does, and you actually screw it in. So that'll be your attachment point for the little foam blaster. So it'll just sit just like this in the back and hold it in nicely. And then additionally, you get 4 nozzles total. Is that it? Yeah, 4 nozzles. We get a 0-degree nozzle, and let's see if they state what it is. Zero, it's a 1.7 orifice nozzle on the 0. Then we get a 15. Let's see here, 15, 1.7, same thing. So those are going to produce the same amount of PSI and GPM. And then the white is a 40-degree angle, and same thing, 40, 1.7. So all the same size. I'm only going to have to test one of these to see what the PSI and GPM rating is. All right, guys, here's cleaning ability. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There we go. Here we go. So you can definitely see where I cleaned. I also cleaned there as a little test beforehand. Okay, so we're definitely cleaning the concrete there. Additionally though, they do include a turbo nozzle. So around the house cleaning, I don't personally use these on cars. Some guys will use them on the wheels of a car. I personally still don't. But around the house cleaning, basically this is equivalent to a 0-degree nozzle with higher flow. So it's a larger orifice, and then it spins and does an amazing job for cleaning. All right, guys, so turbo nozzle is on. You'll see that circular pattern it does. I'm gonna zoom you in, and we'll clean right here. Much, much faster and more effective at cleaning. See that? It just really makes the job go by much, much quicker. So there you go, definitely effective. All right, guys, now with all that said, let's go ahead and take this outside. We're gonna test the usability of this thing, right? We're gonna fire it on, we're gonna test the amp reading of this unit with the factory nozzles. We'll test the PSI and GPM with the factory nozzles, and then play around a little bit, see if we can manipulate the size. Like I said, these are 1.7 orifice. Maybe the next smallest size I have is a 2.5. That's obviously gonna drop your PSI because it's a larger hole, so we're not gonna get as much PSI through that, but it'll increase our flow. For car detailing, I prefer 1100 at 2 gallons per minute, right around those numbers, as close to that as I can get. Now again, this comes with they state a 3-piston pump. And they say patented or exclusive or something like that. A 3-piston pump isn't exclusive. Other brands make 3-piston pumps, but maybe this actual design is, I don't know, but we'll go ahead and play with that. Water inlet is through here, already attached to the unit, which is nice, you don't have to mess with it. Water outlet is here, so it's in line, which I definitely prefer, especially for a unit like this. You don't have to worry about it, when it comes out of the same spot, everything gets a little bit tangled up, so this will be nice. And then right on top here, basic toggle on-off switch. And guys, for storage, like I said, you do have the lawn storage, hose, foam cannon, foam blaster goes off the back, and then you do have nozzle storage for all 4 of the nozzles that they include. Okay, as we're getting into the testing, for some reason I filmed all of it and one file of all the recordings was corrupted, which was that one. So I'm gonna fill you guys in on exactly what I saw. I test the amps. Amps with this unit, we're coming in at about 14.6 amps. Now over time, as the unit warms up, those will actually come down, but at initial startup, 14.6. So if you're on a 15 amp breaker, no problem at all. We're gonna get into some more testing here and I'll show you that. I just wanted to briefly tell you that. And then also the PSI that I saw stated with the 40-degree nozzle started off at 1600 PSI. So quite a ways off from the 2200. The 0-degree and the 25-degree both got the same numbers, and they started off lower and then creeped up higher over time, which we'll talk about here in a second as we're doing the GPM test. All right, guys, so in order to test the flow, we're just gonna take a bucket. We're going to point the pressure washer into the bucket for 1 minute. That'll give us our gallons per minute rating. I'll put it on the scale, weigh it out, and I'll let you guys know. We're gonna fast forward this whole thing and I'll let you know what each nozzle is producing. All right, guys, so that's 1 minute with the yellow nozzle. Again, I'm gonna go to the white as well because we got a slight difference in PSI just to see what that is. Now, I will state, while I was running the machine, I was checking the PSI, we got up to 1900. So over time, this thing seems to be getting more and more. I personally don't run a pressure washer that long, so I need the pressure, pretty immediately, but it's nice to know that it is getting up there. We'll probably get up to 2000 once the thing breaks in, and then we're getting much more accurate on our numbers, getting much closer at least. Gallons per minute on this thing, we're pretty much spot on at 1.2 gallons per minute. So currently getting 1900 PSI, 1.2 gallons per minute. Let's go ahead and check the white nozzle now, the 40-degree. Again, I'll re-inspect the PSI on that, and we'll also test the GPM. All right, guys, that's 1 minute with the factory white 40-degree nozzle. Again, checking the PSI, we were getting 1700 PSI with that nozzle. The gallon per minute flow rating did go up, but not by much. We're about 1.25, 1.26. So slightly better, but let's go ahead and check an aftermarket nozzle now. Let's use a 2.5, see what we get there. This thing actually is kind of reminding me a whole lot of the Ryobi 1800. So let's just see what we can get. We are now down to 1200 PSI. Okay, let's go to the 3.0 and see what that does. If it's too low, then I'm not even gonna check the GPM on it. It's exactly where I thought it would be. It's at 900 PSI. So 900 is a little, I don't think the flow is gonna be that crazy. 900 is gonna be too light for me. If it was at 2 gallons per minute, 900 would still be okay. It's not gonna be there. Let's go ahead and test the GPM of the 2.5. All right, guys, so again, 1 minute with a 2.5 orifice nozzle, 40 degrees. We were spot on that 1200 PSI, and we increased to 1.4 gallons per minute. So not terrible numbers. You're gonna be able to wash your car with that, no problem. You'll get some work done around the house, especially using that turbo nozzle. Seems like a decent little unit. Let's go ahead and test it with a foam cannon now. I'll show you the foam blaster and then we'll transfer that over into a proper foam cannon. So now it is time for the foam cannon / foam blaster test. I have my Quiver foam cannon here. This thing comes with a 1.25 orifice installed. It also comes with a spare 1.1. For a unit like this, you're gonna wanna use the 1.1. Remember how we talked about the nozzles listing it at 1.7. A 1.1 orifice nozzle in a foam cannon is more equivalent to, I can't remember what it is, it's a 2 point something. So it's still larger than what the hole that those nozzles have. So you're not gonna have any issues with amperage or anything like that. The soap that I used, I mixed up 2 ounces of Detailco's pH neutral soap into the foam can, into this one, filled it all the way up with water, and then poured half of it into this one. So we have the exact same ratio of product in each. So let's go ahead and show you the foam capabilities with this unit and with this little foam blaster. All right, guys, so here it is. A little bit funky how I'm having to hold this, but here we go. So, decent coverage for sure. Like, I'm surprised by the amount of coverage we're getting. That's nice. Does it rotate at all? No, it doesn't. So it shoots horizontally, not vertically. Not my favorite for sure. But again, working around the house and stuff, that might be a benefit to hit your windows and things like that. So we'll go ahead and spray it a little bit more. So definitely runny, right? Very, very runny, but pretty good coverage. So we're gonna go ahead and disconnect this now. We're gonna go ahead and hook up the quiver foam cannon right here. Everything's tightened down. Oh, let me widen this out. Another benefit with this foam cannon is you can adjust the angle of the fan, and then you can also change it from horizontal shooting to vertical shooting for whatever you need. So that is a nice little feature. So here we go, quiver foam cannon, same exact ratio, using the cat pressure washer. Here we go. So as you guys can see, completely night and day difference between a proper foam cannon versus one of those little foam blasters. I mean, goes on nice and thick, stays on the panel longer, so it gives the soap much more time to get the job done. You can see it's just sitting on there, and then eventually it'll start to pull down like that, removing a lot of the contamination. So there you have it, guys. The cat pressure washer available at Sam's Club, produced through the Active brand of products. Again, for the cat name, listed 2200 PSI. I wasn't getting that. I was getting 1900 at its max. We'll probably, as it breaks in more and more, we'll probably get to 2000. Water flow, I was definitely getting the 1.2. That was accurate. And then we were able to get it up to 1200 PSI at 1.4 with a 2.5 nozzle. Foam cannon, again, switch over to a 1.1, you'll get great foam, and you'll be good to go. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope that video helps you. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you're subscribed, turn on that notification bell, and we will see you guys on the next one.